okay, so we're Tesla investors. All said and done, how would you fairly value Tesla stock today? Because we have the rapidly growing vehicle business. I would say that's grown, frankly, far more profitable than we would have expected. The FSD pricing power is growing far more faster than I expected, and the timing is, frankly, far more faster than I expected. Like, I know it's like late by Elon time, but it's way ahead of what I was expecting, you know?
Mhm.
And then we have Solar Roof really finding gear, Megapack. Like, I'm really thinking Tesla at 390, 400 billion is actually, yeah, we missed that 10 bagger pop, or actually, we didn't miss the 10 bagger pop. We've been in it, but is it going to easily 10 bagger pop again? No, but do I see a structural like 40 to 50% IRR CAGR for the next decade still from here to a $5 trillion company? Yes. And that's why I frankly think as big cap tech goes, Tesla's the new blue chip iconic. It might take another year for people to realize that, where it goes up another 50%, but that's where I think it is. The product market fit took them 15 years to get there for the EV industry. And now they've gone 0 to 1, it's 1 to N. And we're going to go to 200 billion in revenue, just like that, from scale without any competition, basically. Maybe let's call it 150 before FSD kicks in. And it's like, yeah, this is quickly going to justify. And then you do the free cash flow numbers, the return on assets, the $1 billion FSD a quarter calculation. I'm like, this 1% yield, 2% yield of free cash flow that's growing like crazy in this interest rate environment and the relative valuations of every other company. Where do I want to keep my money as US, as just a human on earth? Like, Tesla equity. So I don't know. This is kind of my long-winded, very high level way of saying, like, because Tesla has executed the intrinsic value of the business has gone up so much, I'm actually still thinking like it's very fairly priced at today's levels. Despite the equity rise. Like, I think just the business has increased in value that much. And so that's kind of how I think about it. But I would be really curious to think about, how do you get to a fair value of Tesla today, and think about that valuation question.
No, it's a great question. I think, yeah, I tend to agree with you that Tesla is relatively fairly valued right now until we know a little bit more about how much FSD is going to truly contribute to operating profit and net profit for Tesla. So again, one of the reasons why Tesla traded such a massive valuation multiple relative to other auto stocks is that there is a combination of growth that's being priced in, as well as that asset efficiency. Again, that can be attributable to better design. It could be attributable to better manufacturing technique, and it can be attributable to rising share of FSD of total operating profit too. So and I'm a little bit I'm a little bit still skeptical of the timeline for robo-taxis. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So, but that's not to say that FSD is not going to contribute meaningfully to profit and therefore return on assets, because there's still a lot of utility in having FSD, right? So that there's still, the individual will still benefit, a lot from having the features of FSD on their cars. So there is enough incentive for people to continue to buy it. And as
and they're raising the prices. I don't think the take rate's going down. Like, they've been raising prices. I think the take rate's probably staying flat. Like, this is a true, like, the incremental gross margin expansion from FSD, we do not need full autonomy. It's already underway. It's just all incremental gross margin expansion till FSD. And I think the market is like, oh, well, what was the one-time, FSD revenue recognition this quarter? It's like, bro, this is such the wrong way to think about that line item.
Yeah, exactly. And see, this is why I really wish, and if you talk to Martin, if you're watching, shout out to you, but if you really hope you guys consider breaking out FSD from automotive sales, because software is such a different animal from manufacturing. Even though the two are related, right? You can't buy FSD without buying the car. But I think it's going to be important for investors to understand that there are gains coming from operating profit due to not only FSD, but due to all the slides that we just saw in terms of manufacturing efficiency and simplification of car design, that I think it's going to go underappreciated if we don't really understand that, where the operating profit is truly coming from.
Wow.
So,
and that would be truly the start of Tesla being understood as the computer on wheels company, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Is when we truly acknowledge this massive and not going away piece of the software business.
Yeah, exactly. Because Amazon does it, right? Amazon breaks it out. even though technically you can argue that AWS is unrelated to the retail side of things. But they still show it though, because it is a different animal entirely, right? It requires an entirely different set of skills, and different know-how from actually building the cars themselves, right? So the team of engineers that designed the Model Y and designed the Cybertruck and whatnot are completely unrelated to the team that's working on FSD, right?
Yeah.
So I wish we saw that, but yeah, I think that the trajectory that Tesla is on with achieving the industry best return on assets, but not just achieving just the best in terms of overtaking Toyota, but I think it's going to achieve more than 10%. Right now they're at 5%. And despite the fact that they're going to be spending $6 billion every year for the next 2 to 3 years, I think that the return on assets due to increased profit due to FSD, as well as better design and less CapEx that's required to build these subsequent factories, as well as the improvements that are coming from the 4680 cell, I think Tesla will achieve 10% return on assets by the end of 2022.
Wow.
And if that happens, then I think there's still a lot more upside to go with Tesla equity. How much exactly, I can't tell you for sure, but I do think that if that happens, if we use Amazon as a comparison, then I think that there's a warranted for another doubling in the stock price, by 2022.